What's up, everybody? It's me, Crosspatch. Welcome back to my Madden 21 Pittsburgh Steelers franchise. This is just going to be a short video recapping the season we just finished up. We'll take a look at the playoff bracket. We'll review the statistics for some of the players, their contract situations going forward, some of the progressions throughout the season. I started this series off with a video almost a month ago where I talked about how this was my first Madden franchise in over 10 years. Madden 05, 06, 07, played the heck out of those games. I was pretty good at them. I played a Madden franchise, all Madden level franchise. But that was a long time ago. Madden 10 was my last Madden. I became a little disenchanted with the new consoles when they came out, and kind of moved away from the game, but I decided to come back this year. I know a heck of a year to do that. And yeah, I feel like it went pretty well. I feel like still, though, there are a lot of parts of my game that are still rusty, that I don't have them together just yet. But we managed to finish 13-3 and get the number one seed in the AFC. Simmed through the wild card round here a little bit, and we're going to be taking on the 8-8 Chargers in the next game. So, if that sounds interesting to you, you might want to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing a lot of Madden content. I'm going to be starting another franchise too, I think, along with the Steelers. I have not decided what team yet. I think it's going to be an NFC team, but I will be doing that in the next couple weeks as well. But so that's our next game, probably tomorrow after this video. Yeah, so I can't be unhappy with that. 13-3. Yeah, the losses. I mean, every time we lost, it was clearly because of mistakes I made. Like, you can always say, like, oh, all Madden level, it's going to get you sometimes, but I mean, it was because of mistakes I made, dumb decisions. So I got to clear that stuff up. We can take a look at our team stats and a few other things here. Roethlisberger had a pretty good season. Again, I feel like I'm going to get better. And yeah, I'm working on throwing the deep ball. I got to work on my screen game. Work on my play action. But yeah, not bad. I wish I could have gotten some of these other guys involved a little bit, but the games were, for one reason or another, just wasn't possible. Connor, I wish I could have got him more involved. I was a little too focused, I think, on McFarland throughout the season because he's so fast. Trying to get him involved, trying to push him to the number one halfback spot, but it just wasn't working out. Connor was obviously a better back. 1,100 yards on the season, 12 touchdowns. Same with Snell. I should have had him more involved a little bit. Hindsight's 20/20, as they say. So if I were to start the season over, more carries for Connor, more of a role for Snell, I would leave McFarland in that third down back, fourth, fifth wide receiver role. He did well at this year, and I'd get him a few carries now and then, but this should have been reversed, McFarland and Snell. Snell should have had more carries. But, that's how it was. Smith-Schuster, 136 catches, 1,400 yards, 17 touchdowns. I like to find a way to spread the ball around a little more, but he always seemed to be the guy that was open. He seemed to be the guy that was making the catches. So, Claypool's going to come on a little bit as he progresses. It was his rookie season, 69 balls, 710 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Not bad. Johnson, I had intended to alternate in the slot with Washington, but he played so well, I just kind of kept him out there. 5 touchdowns, 56 catches. Ebram and McDonald were both clutch as far as short yardage, getting first downs. And McFarland did well in the slot in the fourth and fifth wide receiver, third down running back role. And Washington, I kind of wish I could have gotten him more involved. Unfortunately, the Steelers playbook only has one formation where I can have all four wide receivers on the field at the same time. Uh, there are a lot of formations with 4 and 5 wide receivers, but that's always with tight ends and halfbacks split out. So yeah, that's another. In older versions of Madden, you could swap a wide receiver in for a tight end. So why I can't do that now, I don't know. I have a sneaking suspicion it has something to do with online play. But in franchise, that would be really nice. I would really like to be able to get Ibram out of there like in a bunch set and put a wide receiver like Washington in his role. That would be nice. Defensively, playing the 8-minute quarters, like there's a reason I play 8-minute quarters. I don't want to say what it is just yet, but I think it will be evident over the next few seasons why I play 8-minute quarters. Years ago, I used to play the 5-minute quarters before there was the accelerated clock. But the way that the thing ticks down, even when you have the clock, accelerated clock off, I'm just trying to find a happy medium. And 8-minute quarters seems okay. But there's defensive stats are always going to be a little low when you do that. And if your defense is playing well, they shouldn't be out there that much anyway. So Edmonds led the team with 52 tackles. Watt had 11.5 sacks, 2 at 7. Bush, 5.5. So Dupree had 5 sacks. He played well this season. His contract is up. I'd really like to get him re-signed. Dupree and Connor are kind of in the same boat. They're both guys I would really like to get re-signed. Whether or not I can do that depends on Roethlisberger. What he does, whether he retires or comes back, is going to make a difference on whether or not I can get some of these players back next year. Now, I did re-sign Smith-Schuster to a 7-year, I think $110 million contract during the season. But everybody else whose contracts are up, I'm kind of waiting to see. And, we'll have to wait and see what the team looks like next year. I'd love to have Roethlisberger back, but, if I do, I'm not going to be able to keep some of these other guys I want. Minkah Fitzpatrick led the team with 7 interceptions. Edmonds 2, Nelson 2, Hayden 2. A couple for these other guys. So, Fitzpatrick's another one I'd like to keep around. Luckily, he is not in a contract year. Fitzpatrick and Edmonds are not. Nelson is not. Hayden is. I will not be able to keep him. He's getting older. He's 88 speed as it is. It'd be great to keep him for a reasonable amount for a year or two. I don't see that happening. But, we'll hope. Hilton is somebody I would like to keep around. But again, it's going to depend on what happens with Roethlisberger. Surprisingly, I did not miss any field goals. And I only missed 1 extra point. So, I'm a little shocked by that because I am not a good field goal kicker in Madden. But it looks like maybe Boswell's skills overwhelmed my inabilities. So that's about it for the stats and some of the re-signings. I'm going to lose Alualu probably, my defensive nose tackle. May be able to pick him up as a free agent if I can't get him re-signed. And as far as progression, I'll just hit some of the high points here. Roethlisberger obviously did not progress in any way. Connor, I think, is up to an 87. Yeah, 89 with morale. All these guys have their morale boosts here, so it's going to be a little deceptive to look at. Smith-Schuster and Claypool both got a 1-point speed boost. So they're up to 93 speed. Smith-Schuster, I think, a 91 overall. And Claypool is up to an 80 overall after his rookie season. So he's got, I see this hidden dev trait thing there. 0 out of 500 500 downs played. So I know he's played a bunch of downs this season. So why that still says 0, I do not know. I'm hoping it kind of rectifies itself somewhere along the line. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, Johnson's up to what, 80, 81 overall. So my receivers are. I mean, these guys are solid for next season. I'm gonna lose McLeod, which I'm not thrilled about, but I don't think I need more than 4 wideouts, to be honest. So these guys are going to be back next season. My tight ends are going to be back next season. Ibram, I think, got a little bit of a boost to his overall 84. My offensive line stayed mostly the same. A little bit of boost here and there, excepting for Kevin Dotson. He took over at center for Marquise Pouncey for the first 7 games of the season, I guess, where Pouncey was out. He played well, so I moved him over to right tackle. So, I don't know. Our offensive line may be a bit of a patchwork next season. We're going to have to draft, but he's definitely going to be part of it. He's going to be possibly the starter at left guard. I don't know. We'll see where he fits in, but he is going to move along a little bit here in his progression. I don't know how long he's going to be with us, but at least for next season, he's going to play a role. TJ Watt is up to a 94 overall. And, of course, he has that superstar X Factor. Fearmonger, I think I have on him. Yeah. And he's got the Under Pressure and El Toro. I was expecting to get a dev trade opportunity for Bush, but that never materialized. But he's up to an 81 overall. You know, he played all right this season. He's my user guy. So if he played badly, it's my fault. Most of the time. But, yeah, he's going to progress, I think. He's going to be a good one. Dupree, not much. I think he had 1 progression throughout the season. My cornerbacks I worried about. I talked about in my first video. These guys are too slow. Well, I'm still going to say they're too slow. But they played well. I tried to protect them with getting pressure on the quarterback. You know, they get burned every now and then. But, yeah, still too slow. We're going to have to draft for this position. We need those low 90, mid 90 guys, I think. But they played well. Can't complain. Fitzpatrick is up to only an 89 overall, which I think is a little bit low. I think Madden has him rated a little low. He's had some nice progression during the season. I've got Acrobat and Pick Artist on him. He's getting those interceptions. Edmonds went up to star development throughout the season. He had a opportunity. He took advantage of it, and now he's a star. Yeah, so that's about that. That's about the size of that. A lot of these, I'm going to have these guys back, a lot of them. Edmonds and Fitzpatrick will be back. Cornerback is the big question mark position next year. Offensive line, possibly quarterback. Those are the big question marks going into next season. Yeah, so our next game is going to be against the Chargers here. The Los Angeles Chargers. I hope I didn't call them... Did I call them the San Diego Chargers earlier? I may have. Who knows? Los Angeles Chargers. That'll be the next game of the season. The next game of the postseason. And from there, we'll hopefully go to the AFC Championship. And then it's going to be a tough one with either Cleveland or Kansas City. So if you're interested in any of this, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. This is a brand new YouTube channel I'm trying to get off the ground here. I'm going to be doing lots of Madden content. Like I said, I'm going to be adding another franchise. I've got to think about who it's going to be. I got a couple of ideas. I'd love to do the Eagles, but that salary cap situation they have is just a disaster. But we'll see. It's going to be an NFC team. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment if you have any questions or any thoughts on what I should do with any of these guys. Should I try to keep Connor? How hard should I try to keep Connor? Like, should I just let him go, cut him loose? Or should I make an effort to, like, sacrifice in other areas so I can re-sign him? So, thoughts on those kind of things in the comments if you have any. But that's about it. Thanks a lot for checking out the video. I hope you have a great day. I will see you in the divisional round against the San Diego/Los Angeles Chargers.